Thanks. Welcome to Ridgeville City Schools Board of Education work session. Today is Tuesday, September 3rd. It's 5:31 p.m. We'll call this meeting to order. If you could rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Yetsey?
Here.
Ms. McCarthy?
Here.
Ms. Saxon?
Here.
Mr. Bureau?
Here.
Mr. Pop? Here.
Finalization of agenda.
Item was presented.
Thank you. Takes us to the Superintendent Treasurer's report.
Thank you very much. Tonight, we just have one item on the superintendent's report, but I did want to update the board about our start of school. Things went very smooth as we predicted. We have just under 4,700 students. Matt and his office have been working with the city to try to iron out some transportation things that have come about. They've been very helpful. Today, all things went perfectly. We were able to see that with the assistance of the police officers helping us get off Bainbridge. So we appreciate that. We have all been able to check in with all of our new staff members, make sure everyone is doing well, and we're continuing to roll out and provide professional development in all areas throughout the district. So ultimately, a very good start. Questions?
Very good.
Turn it over to Ms. Armbruster and Mr. Plantner, who have an update for us on Booster Strong.
Stand over here.
You stand wherever you like.
Evening, everybody. How are you?
So we wanted to give you an update. We are really pleased with where Ranger Strong has gone and where it's moving and the response that we've received from the city and the support that we've had from you all as a board when we made our Ranger Strong program, our formal PBIS program. As a matter of fact, our new school social worker, thank you very much too, for Ms. Friedman, she was in out at PLC today with all of my teachers, and she was going around, we introduced her to all the teachers today in our meetings, and she said, I've worked in many districts and it's amazing how much I've seen how those teachers and everyone has embraced Ranger Strong. So that was really good to see, and it helped the teachers to hear that too, because I think sometimes they feel, is it really having an effect? And she said, I've already seen it as I've gone around all the buildings. So that definitely I thought was a feather in our cap, and that we're implementing it beautifully. So we're really pleased that it's also gone into the community, how the boosters organizations, PTA organizations have supported us as well, but we do have a long way to go.
So it's really been nice to have the common language that all of our schools use now, whether it's at the elementary or the high school, whether it's on the athletic teams, all of those things have come together nicely. And really the program's grown a lot faster and more significantly than we thought it was going to when we first originated it. So the good news is that it's going really well, and really what we want to talk about is what's next. So we've got it into the schools. Last year we really formalized it with PBIS, created the matrices that you've maybe seen around the campus that show, if you're in elementary school, this is what Ranger Strong looks like. If you're at an athletic event, this is what Ranger Strong looks like. If you're at the high school, so on and so forth. We were able to get that. We were able to get some branding in place for Ranger Strong throughout the schools. As a matter of fact, there's some new banners that are going to be put up in the academic center, and we want to get those larger banners out into the other schools as well. And then the other component that we really focused on last year was getting it out of the schools and into the community. So we were able to create partnerships with a number of different community organizations, some business partners, as well as like the Northridge Nursing Home, the police department, the mayor's office, council chambers. They all now have Ranger Strong. We support North Ridgeville City School signs that we were able to print in our own Fab Lab, and we want to be able to do that to more community agencies and to more organizations moving forward.
Yes, with the superintendent's office coordinating those efforts, so we need more banners, obviously. We're going to have to do that. We have retail organizations, a lot of organizations that support the schools that we want to, and they're willing to. We just need to get those made and printed for them. And going along with that, we want to increase visibility with that as well, with bumper stickers, other ways that it can go into the community, and the students can be a part of that too. The PBIS program the teachers do a lot in their classrooms, but that treasure chest. So we'd like to have more Ranger Strong items in that treasure chest for students. They want them. They want their Ranger Strong bracelets, they want the Ranger Strong bumper stickers, whatever that, take home to mom and dad for their car, those types of things. So we'd like to increase that this year. Hopefully even looking for something where we can have some type of a budget for our teachers, for Ranger Strong, memorabilia Ranger Strong items for that treasure chest, which it just rolls right into PBIS, which again, we were ahead of the game by adopting board policy because the state of Ohio has now said we have the social and emotional standards, and they're highly recommending that we implement into all of our schools, and we're ahead of that, we're doing that. So we're really excited to be on the forefront of that, but we do need more resources for our students to reward that with behavior, that positive behavior.
Along with the social emotional standards that are in place that we focus on through PBIS, a big part of the Ranger Strong is those goals, right? So we want students to set those goals, to achieve their goals, and we want to provide them incentives for achieving those goals, right? We want them to earn something for achieving those goals. So having that budget and being able to purchase those items helps us out. Being able to get into the community as much as possible helps us out, because ideally we want Ranger Strong to be a community initiative, not just a school initiative, right? So the entire school really buys into Ranger, the entire community rather buys into Ranger Strong, buys into the school district. So when we do need their support for whatever it may be, they are there and they have that ownership that they've taken of the district and that buy-in that they have for the schools, whether or not they have children. So when they see Ranger Strong throughout the community, hopefully when they see a Ranger Strong sign as they drive into North Ridgeville, that's the type of thing we really want our community to be able to rally around it. That's sort of what our next steps are.
I have a question about how do we educate the community about what Ranger Strong means? Not just that it's visible, that they see the words Ranger Strong, but how do we let them know what Strong stands for?
Right. So not only the community, also in the district, there's areas where we need to strengthen what Ranger Strong is, right? And so through professional development, we can do some of that in district, whether it's with certain grade levels or sports teams or whatever. But then out in the community, it's a matter of really just providing good communication, right? Whether it's through the branding that we put out there, whether it's through emails out to the community. I know that we send out the monthly updates or the quarterly updates to the community. We can have articles in there that explain a little bit more about what Ranger Strong is. I think it's important for people to understand, like, this is not just a word, it's an acronym that stands for some very specific types of things that we want our students in our community to embrace, for some very specific skills and attributes that we want our students to have moving forward in life. So that's an important part of it as well.
We've expanded our 3 through 8, our Student of the Month program in our buildings. So every month, every studio, there will be a student that is recognized for all of the attributes of Ranger Strong. So there'll be 6 students in every studio receiving recognition. So again, that's going to go home. We're going to have those banners, the certificate run on a banner on the TV screens in our. So I think the parents are going to see that certificate come home, and like this student is being focused for service. You can see the community care drive. So homing in on those, attributes and focusing in on those monthly for each studio.
And the more, the more we can get our kids out in the community, the better as well. I mean, last year our student council went to North Ridge, our 3rd graders went to City Hall. When we can get our students out into the community, they would typically much rather hear from our kids than they would hear from us. So the more our kids can be our ambassadors, the better.
Thank you. Any other questions?
I just want to add a couple of things, if you don't mind. First of all, I want to thank Lee and Greg for all of their work in getting this started. Walking in last year, it was all very new to me, but now having had the time to learn a little bit about how it originated, where it came from, I know that these two, along with some staff members, have worked really hard to really bring Ranger Strong to the district and forge our PBIS initiative and all that we do. A story about the Northridge Healthcare and sort of answering Cole's question. I was able to walk around and see some of the students talking with some of the residents, and one was actually explaining what each of the characteristics and attributes mean to one of the residents, and they had some really good questions. And for our student who, I don't know what grade they were in, I'm guessing like 6, maybe, but they're 6, to be able to answer these questions was really an eye-opener for me, that it truly is something that we are embracing, and I'm proud of that. So thank you both.
Thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Before you guys go, if you wouldn't mind, because
because this is televised, and what is PBIS?
Sure.
For the community, and tell us more about Ranger Strong. I don't want it to just be Ranger Strong,
Right.
you know, I want the community to truly embrace and know it, so.
Absolutely. So for anybody who's watching this, after the fact,
We
Ranger
have
Strong.
huge audience.
Yeah, I know. And for everybody here in the room. Strong stands for service, teamwork, respect, ownership, necessity, and goals. So service is really service to others, service to the community, not only locally, but globally. We do a number of charity fundraisers. We have a partnership with Community Care, and we really want our students to understand that benefit of service to others. Respect sort of speaks for itself, but we want to have a respectful community. We want our students to not only respect each other, but be respected by everybody that they encounter in our school community. So respect is huge.
And most importantly, respect themselves. That's kind of, in my grade level, that's one of the ones we really stress. Like, if you can't respect yourself, you really can't respect anyone else. So we work on that wholeheartedly with our middle school students.
Ownership is really just taking responsibility for their obligations, whether it's schoolwork, whether it's things at home, whether it's taking ownership for treating others with kindness, whatever it is, really owning the choices that they make and making responsible choices in doing so.
And necessity. Necessity is the one that we talk about too. We struggle with necessity. Obviously, it's a district, but it can take on many different meanings, but it's the district providing the necessary things for our students to learn and grow and be successful learners. But we talk simply to the students about necessity is when you get home from school and your parents left you a list of chores, feed the dog, have a snack, they can take care of your little brother or sister, do your homework. Then you can go and get on your video games and those things. Taking care of first things first, the things that have to be done so that you can then relax and take care of the fun things. So that's necessity.
If I could spell, I would tell you that T stands for teamwork, since that comes after S. And of course, teamwork is working with their peers and really learning those interpersonal skills that you need to be successful moving forward. I think in almost every workplace and almost every relationship that our students will have moving forward, it's not just them working by themselves or doing by themselves. They really have to learn to work with others, so that teamwork component and how to be respectful and how to effectively work with a team is important. And then, of course,
goals. And we're working right now, obviously, with the STAR and all our data programs to analyze, and they're testing data from last year, set goals, academic goals for next year. But we also talk about social goals. How can I, behavior, which leads into our PBIS, which is positive behavior intervention supports. And there's 3-tier programs with that. And the first is recognizing positive behavior to increase positive behavior instead of focusing on negative behaviors. And that's proven that does work, and it helps students to make the right choices. And then there's a level 2 of positive behavior supports where we might bring in extra when a student does start having some struggles. And there's guidelines for the teachers on what to get to level 2 and what supports to offer those students. And then we have level 3, which is where a student might have a difficult time in a traditional school environment, and we look at other options for that student to best service that student. But most of our students are at level 1, and the more opportunities we can give them to provide good, positive behavior support is what in turn results in a very positive school environment for our lives.
and Ranger Strong itself really is a level 1 support. It's meant to be a support that's in place for all students. And so that's really our level 1 that hits the vast majority of our kids and really focuses not on punishment for bad choices, but focuses on how do we reinforce the good choices and how do we focus on rewarding them and praising them and setting up incentives for making good choices before we ever get to poor choices.
One on top of that, Governor DeWine did put in part of the budget this year and next year, student success and wellness funds. And part of what we can use those funds for as a district is some of our social emotional wellness initiatives, whether it is BIS related or social work, et cetera, things that we can bring to the district to reinforce not only tier 1, but also tier 2 and tier 3 as we consider the students that do have additional needs. So we're happy about that.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.
Okay, that moves us into our consent agenda. We'll go to the Education Committee report. This is to Mira.
We have an agreement with ADA,
Moving on to policy committee, we have a policy to remove from our online policy book, policy 5330.03, regarding the maintenance of rescue inhalers, was not intended to be adopted by the Board of Education when our new policies were adopted in June. It's not a policy that's required by law, and we were advised by the Lorraine County Board of Health that they don't have a tested and consistent way to procure, secure, and maintain emergency rescue inhalers. So in the meantime, I recommend that the board approve the removal of this policy on our September 17th meeting. Does anyone have any questions about that? The Lorraine County Board of Health just doesn't have physicians that are willing to prescribe us, write a prescription for us to get and maintain rescue inhalers here at the school district. Okay. That moves us to our communications report. Mrs. Yetsey?
We have 6 gifts to North Ridgeville City Schools. The first gift is from Scott Fry Foundation, who donated a large quantity of school supplies to the district. The school supplies will be made available to any students in need. The estimated value is $400. Second is a gently used flute, estimated value of $100, donated by the Spyak family to the Ranger High Tech Academy Music Department to be used for students in need of an instrument. Third, the North Ridgeville H&R Block Company donated a large quantity of school supplies following their Fill the Bus fundraiser. The school supplies will be made available to any students in need, estimated value of $1,000. Fourth, $125 was donated by myself, Chris Yetsey, to the North Ridgeville Board of Education Scholarship Fund. $125 was donated by Mr. Frank Baca to the North Ridgeville Board of Education Scholarship Fund.
It's a hard word.
I say that word. The last gift is Craft and Treasure Chest. I can't, I didn't have to do it on this page. It did have to do that. The last gift is Craft and Treasure Chest items, including 96 canvas paint kits, 38 DIY wood puzzles, 5 craft bags, 40 bags of pom-poms, 10 velvet poster kits, 10 bags of pony heads, 18 bags of Google eyes, and 20 bags of sequins, which is an estimated value of $700. That was donated by Ms. Renee Valaire to Ms. Dee's classroom at the Early Childhood Learning Center. Total donations received for the 2019-2020 school year total $2,200. We thank our community for their tremendous support of our schools and students, and that concludes the communications report.
I think that's a typo, it should be pony beads.
Yes.
Pony beads. Not
Pony
It was like,
Pony heads. I thought they were a little tiny.
Thank
I didn't know what we were going to use pony heads for, but appreciate it. Yes, absolutely. Thank you for noticing that. And thank you for all those donations. Appreciate it. Our buildings and operations report.
Under buildings and operations, we have 2 Chromebooks that will be reassigned. These will be used for spare parts or removed for disposal.
Human resources report, Ms. Saxon.
Yes, we have 3 supplemental contracts, 65 special project stipends, 4 unpaid volunteers, 2 certified staff contract adjustments, 6 support staff contract adjustments, 1 certified staff resignation or retirement.
Sorry, I'm just taking a second to look at all those. Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, please.
The ski club, for the volunteer ski advisors, are they gonna go through the supplemental process to see if, how does that work?
So, excuse me, so the Supplemental Review Committee had its first meeting here at the end of August, and we're looking at creating a procedure for adding new clubs. Now, Ski Club did exist a long time ago, but last year it began again anew. So there could be an argument as to whether it's a former club or whether it starts the first of the 3-year onboarding as a volunteer program. So that's part of what the work of the Supplemental Review Committee will be doing together, is determining what's the criteria to have clubs become full supplementals and make that recommendation to the board.
Thank you. Okay, that takes us to the finance audit report. The lease purchase financing is not considered debt for Ohio Revised Code. Therefore, as a board, it is required for us to annually appropriate the amount to be paid on the notes each fiscal year. The following resolution authorizes the treasurer to initiate payment to the financing institution for fiscal year 2020. And you'll see that on the next page. And then, as we were just received the presentation for the Ranger Strong and where they want to go with those initiatives, there's also a transfer funds, thank you. There's also transfer funds to Ranger Strong for the 19-20 school year. And I would like to motion that we approve both of these in one reading, please.
Second.
So moved by myself, seconded by Mrs. Saxon. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. McCarthy?
Yes.
Ms. Saxon?
Yes.
Ms. Yetsey?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Mr. Vaca?
Yes.
Thank you, everyone. That takes us to other board business, and we have some more human resources stuff. That's the technical term for it. The sex.
Yes, we have 5 support staff appointments, 3 supplemental contract appointments, 1 supplemental resolution to hire non-certified, non-NREA staff, 13 special project stipends, 1 support staff resignation, 1 supplemental contract resignation, 1 support staff substitute resignation. And I motion that we approve this on 1 reading.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Saxon, seconded by Mrs. Tamiro. Is there any discussion? Any questions? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Ms. Saxon?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Ms. Yetsey?
Yes.
Mr. Vaca?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes. Hearing of public on new items, I think I skipped that in the beginning. I apologize if I did. I skipped hearing of public. Hearing of public on any items. Anybody would like to speak to the board about anything that's upcoming? Like to? Hi. Well, you can stand there. You can approach the podium. Either one is fine. We just need you to sign in and tell us who you are.
I am Robin Ringwald, and I'm the chair of Citizens for Better Schools Committee. And I would like to thank you all for your support in the campaign. We have issues 16 and 17 on the ballot on November 5th. So if you know of anybody who is not registered to vote, please show them the process. You can go online, or you can fill out a sheet. It's very quick and simple. And our Facebook page is Citizens for Better Schools. And if you go on there, you can go like it and then share the page with your friends. Thank you very much.
And Robin, I think I read on Facebook, you have an event coming up soon, Mind Plus 9.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So the Mind Plus 9 event is where we're inviting the public and volunteers to come to the community room of the Academic Center, and we are going to have lists available, and we're going to go through a list and see who you think would like to learn a little bit more about our issue, and send them a postcard, and tell them why you support our schools in 16 and 17. So that's an open house. It's at 2:30 to 7, and we're going to have the Spectrum of Sound is going to be there, and whatever refreshments. And so it's come and join us whenever you want to, and you can bring people along with you, and it'll be a good time.
And what's the date of that? You said it was
September 11th.
September 11th, thank you. 2:30 to 7 p.m.?
Yes.
Great, thank you very much. Thanks for all your work and your committee's work to support the schools. Appreciate it. Anybody else would like to speak about anything this evening? Seeing none, it is recommended the Board of Education enter executive session to discuss the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, compensation of public employees, and matters related to negotiations of public employees.
Second.
Moved by Mrs. Tamira, seconded by Mrs. Yetsey. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Tamira?
Yes.
Ms. Yetsey?
Yes.
Ms. Sacks?
Yes.
Mr. Vaca? Yes. Ms. McCarthy?
Yes. Thank you, everyone. That concludes our public portion of our meeting.